Let me ask you a question. What is the number one reason older adults lose their independence? Most people assume it's a serious illness. Heart disease often comes to mind first. Others think about dementia or diabetes. Some imagine arthritis slowly taking away the ability to move freely. But the truth surprises almost everyone. The leading cause of lost independence among seniors is something far more sudden: falling. Just one fall. It can happen in a moment so ordinary that it barely registers at first. A step across the living room, a trip on a familiar stair, a slight misjudgment of balance when turning around. Then suddenly the body gives way. A hip breaks, a shoulder fractures, and the life that once felt stable begins to shift. Someone who walked confidently every morning can suddenly struggle to stand. A person who lived alone for decades may suddenly need assistance for even the simplest tasks. The home that once represented freedom can become a place filled with risk. For many families, that single moment marks the beginning of a completely different chapter. And what makes it even more heartbreaking is that most of these falls are not caused by slippery floors or dangerous environments. They happen because the body has quietly lost the strength it once relied on. The muscles that used to protect us fade slowly over time. The reflexes that once caught us during a stumble grow weaker. The strength that once kept us steady disappears so gradually that we hardly notice, until the day we need it most. But there is another truth that deserves equal attention. The body can regain strength, even later in life, even when many people believe it is too late. Muscles respond to movement at any age. Balance can improve. Confidence can return. And the process of rebuilding strength begins with understanding what happens to the body as we grow older. The human body is remarkable in its ability to adapt. Throughout childhood and early adulthood, muscles grow stronger with use. Bones become denser. The nervous system becomes more efficient at coordinating movement. But beginning around middle age, subtle changes start to take place. They occur so gradually that most people never notice them in the moment. Around the age of 50, the body begins losing small amounts of muscle mass each year. This process is known as sarcopenia. It is not a disease. It is simply part of the natural aging process. However, when left unaddressed, it can have powerful consequences. Over the course of several decades, the body may lose a significant portion of its muscle tissue. By the time someone reaches 80 years old, it is possible to lose nearly 1/3 of total muscle mass if no effort is made to maintain it. Imagine removing one out of every 3 strands that support a bridge. The structure might still stand for a while, but it becomes far more vulnerable. And muscles do more than simply create movement. They stabilize joints, they protect bones, they maintain posture. They help the body react quickly when balance shifts unexpectedly. When those muscles weaken, every movement becomes slightly less secure. Standing up requires more effort. Walking feels slower. Turning quickly becomes more difficult. Even the ability to catch oneself during a stumble begins to fade. But there is another change that often goes unnoticed. Not all muscle fibers are the same. Inside every muscle are 2 main types of fibers. Slow, twitch fibers help us sustain movement for long periods of time. They allow us to walk, stand, and perform daily tasks without becoming exhausted. Fast, twitch fibers serve a different purpose. They activate rapidly during sudden movements. When you trip on a curb and catch yourself before falling, fast, twitch fibers are responsible. When you shift your weight quickly to avoid losing balance, they respond in an instant. Unfortunately, these fast twitch fibers tend to decline faster with age. That means many people retain the ability to walk but lose the quick reaction strength needed to prevent falls. It explains why someone who walks regularly can still struggle with balance. Walking supports endurance, but preventing falls requires strength and rapid muscle response. Those qualities must be trained intentionally. The encouraging part is that the body remains capable of adapting. Even in the later decades of life, muscles can grow stronger when they are challenged. Balance can improve when the nervous system practices responding to change, and the path toward rebuilding strength begins with movement. Before muscles can grow stronger, they must first be awakened. Many people who begin strength training later in life notice something surprising. Certain muscles feel almost unfamiliar. This happens because some parts of the body have not been activated fully in years. Daily life often involves repetitive movement patterns. We walk forward, we sit, we stand. but we rarely move our legs backwards, sideways, or through a full range of motion. Over time, the muscles responsible for those movements become underused. When they finally activate again, the sensation can feel strange at first. This is why warm-up movements are so important. A proper warm-up prepares the joints and muscles for activity. It increases circulation. It improves communication between the brain and the muscles. And it gently reintroduces movements that the body may have neglected for a long time. One of the simplest ways to begin is with the help of a sturdy chair. A chair provides stability and support while the body begins to move. Standing beside the chair allows a person to focus on controlled motion without worrying about balance. The goal is not speed. The goal is awareness. Each movement invites the body to reconnect with muscles that may have been quiet for years. The first warm-up movement focuses on the muscles behind the body. These muscles include the glutes and hamstrings, which play a crucial role in walking and standing. Standing beside the chair, one leg slowly extends backward. The motion is gentle but purposeful. As the leg moves behind the body, the glute muscles activate. These muscles are among the most powerful in the human body. They stabilize the pelvis during walking and help propel the body forward. Yet many people spend hours each day sitting, which reduces the amount of time these muscles are actively engaged. Extending the leg backward reintroduces this important movement. Holding the leg briefly at the top of the motion encourages the muscles to engage fully. Lowering it slowly allows control and awareness. Repeating the movement several times gradually warms the entire back chain of the body. Switching to the opposite leg ensures balance between both sides, even after only a few repetitions. Many people notice increased circulation and warmth throughout the hips and thighs. The muscles are beginning to wake up. The second warm-up movement shifts attention to the outer hips. These muscles are rarely discussed, yet they play an enormous role in maintaining balance. Imagine stepping onto uneven ground. Your body shifts slightly to one side. Instantly, muscles along the outer hip activate to stabilize your pelvis. Without them, every sideways movement would feel unstable. Lifting the leg gently to the side targets these important stabilizers. The knee remains straight. The toes face forward. The movement is slow and controlled. At the top of the motion, the outer thigh muscles contract to hold the leg steady. Then the leg lowers again. Repeating this movement strengthens the muscles responsible for lateral stability. These muscles become especially important during everyday situations like stepping sideways, turning quickly, or regaining balance after a stumble. With each repetition, the body becomes more prepared to respond to unexpected shifts in weight. The third warm-up movement focuses on lifting the knee. This action activates the hip flexors, a group of muscles located at the front of the hip. These muscles are essential for walking. Every time we take a step, the hip flexors lift the leg forward. But prolonged sitting often shortens and weakens them. This can make walking feel slower or less fluid. Lifting the knee upward toward the chest restores mobility in the hip joint. The movement should remain comfortable and controlled. Even a modest lift can activate the necessary muscles. Holding briefly at the top allows the body to fully engage. Then lowering the leg slowly builds coordination. Alternating between legs creates a rhythmic pattern that gradually prepares the entire lower body for strengthening work. By the time these three warm-up movements are complete, circulation has increased. The joints feel more flexible. The nervous system is more alert. And the body is ready for deeper strengthening. The first strengthening movement focuses on a muscle that many people have never heard of. Yet it quietly supports every step we take. This muscle is called the quadratus lumborum. Located deep within the lower back, it connects the pelvis to the spine. Its role is to stabilize the torso whenever the body shifts weight from one leg to the other. During walking, this muscle prevents the pelvis from dropping too far to one side. When it weakens, subtle imbalances begin to appear. Some people develop lower back discomfort. Others notice a slight sway in their walking pattern. Strengthening this muscle improves both posture and balance. The movement used to activate it is known as the hip hike. Standing upright beside the chair, the body remains tall and steady. Without leaning or bending the torso, one hip lifts slightly toward the rib cage. The motion is small but powerful. Holding the lifted position activates the muscles along the side of the waist. Then the hip lowers back to neutral. Repeating the movement gradually strengthens the stabilizing muscles of the lower back. Switching sides ensures balance throughout the body, though subtle. This exercise builds the foundation for improved stability during walking. One of the most functional strength exercises ever developed is also one of the simplest: the squat. Every time a person stands up from a chair, they perform a squat. Every time someone sits down, they repeat the same movement in reverse. This motion engages the quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and core muscles simultaneously. Practicing controlled squats rebuilds strength needed for daily life. Standing with feet about hip-width apart, the body begins lowering slowly. The hips move backward as if reaching for an invisible chair. The knees bend naturally while the chest remains upright. Lowering only as far as comfortable allows each individual to work within their own ability. Some may lower only a few inches. Others may descend much further. Both approaches build strength. Holding briefly at the bottom encourages muscle engagement. Then pressing through the heels returns the body to standing. Repeating this motion slowly reinforces proper movement patterns. Over time, standing up becomes easier. Climbing stairs feels more manageable. Even walking gains a renewed sense of strength. While standing exercises build strength in a functional way, floor exercises allow the muscles to work without placing pressure on the joints. One of the most effective of these movements is the bridge. Lying on the back with knees bent and feet flat on the floor, the body begins in a relaxed position. Slowly lifting the hips toward the ceiling activates several important muscle groups at once. The glutes engage strongly. The hamstrings assist in maintaining the position. The lower back provides support. Holding briefly at the top encourages full muscle activation. Then lowering slowly back to the floor completes the movement. Though simple, this exercise strengthens muscles that protect the hips and spine. Many variations exist. Some involve lifting one leg at a time to increase difficulty. Others emphasize the hamstrings by pressing through the heels. Still others activate the calves and quadriceps by shifting pressure toward the toes. Each variation challenges the muscles in slightly different ways. Together they create balanced strength across the entire lower body. The final strengthening movement focuses on coordination and stability. It requires the body to balance on one leg while the other moves through space. This exercise teaches the nervous system to react quickly when balance shifts. Standing on one leg, the body remains tall with a slight bend in the knee. The other leg extends outward. Imagining a star pattern on the floor, the extended foot taps different points around the body. Forward, diagonal, sideways, behind. Each tap challenges the standing leg to maintain balance. Small adjustments occur continuously. The ankle stabilizes, the knee responds, the hip engages. All of these micro movements train the body to recover balance naturally. Switching to the other leg repeats the pattern. With time, these movements become smoother and more controlled. Balance improves not through luck, but through practice. Strength does not appear overnight. The body changes gradually in response to consistent movement. Each time muscles are challenged, microscopic fibers experience small amounts of stress. During rest, the body repairs those fibers and builds them back stronger. This process repeats again and again. Over weeks and months, muscles grow more resilient. Balance improves. Confidence returns. Movements that once felt uncertain begin to feel natural again. Walking becomes steadier. Standing becomes easier. The fear of falling begins to fade. And perhaps most importantly, the ability to move independently remains within reach. Because the truth is simple. Strength supports freedom. Strong legs allow people to visit loved ones, explore the outdoors, and continue living life on their own terms. They allow everyday moments, walking through the house, stepping into the garden, climbing a few stairs, to remain part of daily life. And every small effort made today contributes to that future. The body may change with age, but it never stops responding to care. Muscles listen to movement. Balance improves with practice. And independence often begins with something as simple as standing up, taking a step, and choosing to keep moving.